house number 4. Been in it since 1999.
1999.
Yeah.
And so...
Been with Habitat 4 years before that. So
cool.
I came to Habitat when they was building Margaret Kelly's house number 1. And so I put sweat equity hours in on their houses. And then when it came to my house, I put about 1,200 hours in.
Wow.
By myself.
Wow.
And I do know that we had to have like 400, 500 sweat equity hours. So I would go up and paint. So when my house was assembled, it wasn't just a raw wood. I went up after my job until 10 o'clock at night during the summertime and painted my house. So when my house went up, it was totally finished. Just
Nice.
touch-up jobs and everything. But before I got into the house, I was living with my mom and dad in a small 2-bedroom with my son. So me and my son shared a room, and if it wasn't for Habitat being for a hand up and everything to help, I would probably still be living with my mom and dad in their house because I wouldn't have been able to afford any place here in town. So with Habitat giving me a hand up to help me out on being able to have a home and everything did wonders for me and my son. You know, he grew up in the house. He was 5 when we moved in. And he's 21 and he's still living with me, you know, but he's trying to get out on his own now. So it's just really nice with what Habitat does for families and everything here in the town. I have 2 cats and 4 dogs. Well, I should say I have 2 dogs and my son has 2 dogs.
Oh.
And I have the 2 cats. But yeah, in my household we have a family.
You're animal friendly.
Yes, and I did have chickens.
Oh, good.
But I finally got rid of them. I just didn't have the time for them anymore, so.
Yeah. Now I know you're on a street and there's other houses on that street that are Habitat houses.
Yes, there's two other houses that's on the same street, and then a street over is 2 other Habitat houses.
Have you formulated a relationship with these other
Yes.
Habitat owners?
Oh yeah, our
and
kids.
Can you talk to me about that a little bit?
Our kids would be outside playing, you know, we didn't have to worry, you know. It's like we went to each other's houses, we can talk to one another. Our kids are all about the same age. So it's really nice that we, you know, we just sit outside and take turns. Everybody watches the other kids and everything. So people I know that my coworkers or even friends that come into the store or people I know, if they kind of like down a little bit and you know, struggling and everything, I tell them to come down here and talk to Habitat, put an application in, you know. They said, well, we don't qualify. I says, you don't know if you don't qualify if you don't do it. I says, you know, you never know. They might be able to help you and point you in the right places. I says, it's done wonders for me. I says, you know, owning my own home. Well, I used to do quite a bit with Habitat. You know, they went to the Home Expo down here when they do the Home Expos in March. I sat there every day. They did the parade. I was in the parade for them.
Nice.
And so I just can't get out and help on the houses anymore because of my work schedule, but anything I can do for them, I help them. What Habitat means to me is more of a bigger family. They were a big part of my family, so it feels like I'm not gaining a house, I'm gaining a family with Habitat for Humanity. Without that, like I said, we would be probably homeless. And so having a home and for him to be able to grow up in, he really enjoys it. And I was one of those people that somebody told me about it and they go, well, you need to go do it. I said, I'm not going to qualify for it, you know. And you know what? I went in and there was 6 of us families that qualified for it. And so there was 6 of us at that time to get houses.
Oh, that's